We can't help the way we are, and if you all can't understand that, well, then I guess you'll just have to put us away.
Number 30, Wendy conforms. We've heard it in countless after-school specials and Glee episodes. Inner beauty matters most. Just be yourself. You shouldn't change your exterior to win the approval of your peers. They're good lessons that are becoming borderline impossible to practice in an increasingly superficial world.
Do you have any idea how you made her feel? She's a really nice girl!
I think she's a nice girl, too. She's just too big for me.
She's a little overweight, but that's pretty normal for a girl in the 4th grade!
As the other girls use Photoshop to boost their confidence, Wendy wages war against unrealistic beauty standards. Alas, even the self-righteous Wendy eventually admits defeat. Sitting at her computer, Wendy alters her image, attempting to hold back tears as her morals are laid out to pasture. While Wendy maintains a straight face, part of herself is dying on the inside. It's a downer ending, but also a brutally honest one where the lie is accepted as a universal truth. Number 29, Spider-Man works in mysterious ways. While Shelley puts up a tough front, her relationship with a vegan boy named Larry brings out her softer side. She helps Larry stand up to his parents, who insist he always wear a useless life preserver. Turns out it's not entirely useless. Fearful that his daughter's Broadway date might go too far, Randy interrupts the performance under the guise of Spider-Man. Not only does Randy provide a literal showstopper, but the damage he causes to the water vein drowns poor Larry.
The musical came to a screeching halt as patrons flooded out the exits and water flooded the theater. The only fatality was a young boy who could not get out of the theater in time. The fire chief said it was unfortunate the child was not wearing a life preserver.
In addition to losing the one boy who liked her, a heartbroken Shelley feels responsible, having encouraged Larry to stop wearing his life preserver. Of course, this is really Randy's fault, although he pins the blame on Spider-Man.
Just know that for Spider-Man to have done what he did, he must have had a very good reason. Spider-Man works in mysterious ways, Shelley, and wherever he is, he loves you.
Number 28, Cartman infects Kyle. A routine tonsillectomy takes a grim turn when the doctors inform Cartman that they accidentally infected him with HIV.
Eric, I'm afraid that we've accidentally infected you with the AIDS virus.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Astonishingly, that is not the episode's darkest moment. Although Kyle knows that HIV and AIDS are no laughing matter, he can't help but feel karma has come to bite Cartman. After all, Cartman has done countless terrible things, including making fun of people with AIDS in the past.
Poor old Kyle. He's really taking it hard. Is Kyle laughing out there?
Although Cartman can dish it out, he cannot take it. Teaching him a lesson, Cartman gives a slumbering Kyle a taste of his blood. When Kyle realizes that he's contracted the disease, it's clear who the culprit is. While Cartman makes everything right by finding a cure, he treats giving Kyle HIV like a harmless prank.
Do you know how serious this is? Well, Kyle, maybe I was just trying to prove a point.
Number 27, Cartman exploits Kenny's death. All of Kenny's deaths are technically dark, although it's happened so many times that we're rarely shocked anymore. If anything, it's more jarring when the characters actually care that Kenny's in the hospital with a terminal illness. Even Cartman cries for his best friend, vowing to find a cure by legalizing stem cell research.
Hey, Cartman. I care a lot about him, too.
While Cartman's pleas to Congress are successful, Kenny still dies. Cartman pulls off a miracle, however, using the stem cells he's collected to make his own Shakey's pizza.
It worked! This whole time, you were just using Kenny's illness to lift the ban on stem cell research so you could sell your stupid fetuses?
Cartman never cared that Kenny was dying. It was part of a ploy to duplicate a pizzeria. In an episode otherwise played with a straight face, this punchline is so heartless that we can't help but giggle.
Hey, I wasn't Kenny's worst friend. Cartman was.
Number 26, the North American man-boy what? The North American Marlon Brando lookalikes isn't real. However, we were horrified to learn that another organization with the same acronym does indeed exist. This makes it all the more unsettling when Cartman joins the group, under the impression that the older members just want to be friends.
Can we help you?
Yes, I'd like to join your fine organization. Is that cool?
You do?
Sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
Sweet.
The Predators convince the clueless Cartman to invite his classmates to their little club. By the time the boys realize what's going on, the stranger danger levels reach code red.
2 et 2, 4, 4 et 4, 8, et 8 et 8.
Thankfully, the boys avoid any direct harm from the Predators. Kenny's dad isn't so lucky, however. Although the crime at the center of this episode remains widespread, the titular organization has shrunk in numbers. We can't help but wonder if this episode played a role in that.
You see us as being perverted because we're different from you. People are afraid of us because they don't understand. And sometimes it's easier to persecute than to understand.
Number 25, Tolerance Camp. With Garrison acting more inappropriately than usual, the boys tell their parents. Most of the adults assume they're being intolerant of gay people, completely disregarding what happened to Lemmywinks.
Well, I'm surprised at you, Stanley. I really thought you knew how to accept people for who they were.
Yeah, but Dad...
No but, Stanley. We're not raising our kids to be discriminators.
The parents thus send the boys to a tolerance camp, which ironically looks like a different kind of camp. It's even shot in black and white like something out of Schindler's List. For the Broflovskis, enrolling Kyle here feels especially hypocritical and insensitive.
You will accept everyone! What are you finger painting?
A bear?
Ein bear? Und bear has nothing to do with accepting people of different races.
I didn't know what else to paint.
Start over. You will finger paint what we tell you. Go!
Saying or painting the wrong thing spells certain death. Even when keeping their heads down, inmates run the risk of starvation. Honestly, we'd rather be inside Mr. Slave with Lemmywinks than be imprisoned in this camp. This episode was ahead of the curve, though, summing up how social media reacts to political incorrectness.
What?
Oh, nothing. I was just getting back to work.
What is in there?
Nothing.
Get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Number 24, Winnie the Pooh and Randy 2. How can you not love Winnie the Pooh? He's adorable, naively optimistic, and speaks to everyone's inner child. Despite the character's universal appeal, Xi Jinping of the Chinese Communist Party isn't a fan.
Some people said Pooh looked like the Chinese president, so we're illegal in China now.
Jesus, what kind of madhouse is this?
With people online claiming she resembles the silly old bear, China censored Pooh. In the South Park universe, Pooh stands between Mickey and the bottom line. To restore business ties between the US and China, Randy concludes the bear must go.
Wait, Pooh, look! Oh, Piglet, what wonderful luck!
The episode authentically portrays Pooh's gentle nature, with actor Brock Baker doing a soft-spoken impression of the character. This makes it even harder to watch as Randy strangles the life out of Pooh while Piglet helplessly watches. Forget blood and honey. This is what a Pooh horror movie looks like. Number 23, Cartman's future. In the future, the world plunges into turmoil due to the fallout from COVID. Nevertheless, Cartman has turned his life around, finding purpose in Judaism and now having a loving family. Although Kyle is convinced this is a scam, Cartman has genuinely changed. When the others try to alter the past, Cartman initially resists out of fear of losing his family, but ultimately places his fate in God's hands.
I have faith that God will see my family through this. Okay, Kyle. You do whatever it is you need to do.
God deals him a cruel hand.
It's so sad he never did anything with his life.
While almost everyone's lives are improved, Cartman is left without a house, family, or life, spending his days drunkenly yelling at others from the streets. Some may argue this future is more fitting for Cartman, but did his children deserve to be erased from existence?
Hey, come on, fellas. We can't spend another holiday feeling bad for Eric. There's nothing that could have changed the path he was on.
Number 22, Juiced Up Jimmy. Believe it or not, Cartman faking his way into the Special Olympics isn't the most uncomfortable aspect of this episode. That distinction goes to Jimmy's storyline, as he becomes reliant on steroids.
Maybe I'll just use them a little bit, as a performance enhancer. Whatever you say, Jimmy, my friend. Whatever you say.
While this is executed with a satirical edge, some scenes feel eerily realistic. There's an especially rough confrontation between Jimmy and his girlfriend that makes us cringe no matter how many times we watch it.
Push it! Push it!
Jimmy, everyone's worried about you. You seem different.
They're all just jealous.
It's a harrowing reminder of how steroid use can render a person unrecognizable, not just physically, but mentally as well. Some don't realize how much a loved one has changed until they find themselves on the receiving end of a fist. Jimmy continues to spiral until Timmy finally makes him look in the mirror.
Timmy. Oh my god. You're right, Timmy. You're totally right.
Number 21. We Are the Champions? Even by South Park standards, Stanley's Cup is insanely mean-spirited. Stan coaches a Pee Wee hockey team with one of the young players having cancer. His survival entirely hinges on whether or not Stan can lead his team to victory.
How come I don't get to grow up?
God damn it, dude, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, what I mean is nobody really knows, see? But everyone does it. I mean, it's not like everyone else gets to live and only you have to die. Everyone's gonna die.
That's an absurd amount of pressure for anyone, let alone a 9-year-old like Stan. The big game comes down to Stan's team and the Detroit Red Wings. The professionals don't go easy on the Pee Wee players, wiping the ice rink with them. As the other team celebrates in Mighty Ducks fashion, Stan is denounced by one of his players. As for little Nelson in the hospital, his fate is largely why this episode is either loved or hated. Either way, everyone agrees it is savage.
No hope.
Number 20. Garrison's way too detailed surgery. Season 9 of South Park begins with the boys' teacher undergoing gender-affirming surgery. As it's happening, we're given explicit and overly precise details by the doctor as to what is taking place. We're also shown graphic stock footage so we can see exactly what's going on. Showing gender-affirming surgery on TV in 2005 was forward-thinking, and in theory, progressive. But the way it's presented here is undeniably dark and difficult to watch, because it's unlikely anyone who tuned into this cartoon expected to be confronted with vivid live-action surgical videos. Number 19. Superman's New Infatuation. Best known for playing Superman, actor Christopher Reeve was an inspiration to many for the strength he demonstrated after enduring an accident that left him with paralysis. So, of course, South Park decided to spin that in the worst possible way.
As most of you know, I am a strong supporter of stem cell research.
In real life, Reeve campaigned actively for an increase to the federal funding of embryonic stem cell research. On South Park, this somehow translated to him being obsessed with draining fetuses and essentially turning into a power-hungry supervillain.
You won't stop me, Hackman!
To say this is a gross misunderstanding of the science on top of being offensive is an understatement, so it definitely left a bad taste in the mouth of anyone who had looked up to the actor. Number 18. Athletic Babies. Basically, the entire premise of this episode is dark. It centers on Cartman and the boys taking advantage of innocence with drug issues.
Who cares? Lots of people will when I tell them. We made $1,000 in 11 days. You what?
However, perhaps one of the darkest moments is when Kyle ultimately decides to join Cartman's scheme. Worse yet, he originally intended to help the victims after seeing an extremely sad commercial. It's tough to pick the absolutely darkest part though, whether it's Kyle's involvement, just witnessing what's happening at all, anytime the characters try to justify their actions, take your pick. Number 17. Human Centipad. This might be one of the most disturbing and shocking predicaments Kyle finds himself in during the entire series. And all because he didn't read a user agreement.
I'm not going with you.
You've agreed to all of this! Hey!
It's not long before Kyle unwillingly takes part in a dark experiment reminiscent of the one shown in the notorious film The Human Centipede. The only thing perhaps more disturbing than the experiment itself is the fact that all Steve Jobs seems to be concerned about is whether the device can read or not. Wait, no. We'll give that honor to Cartman's pure joy at using the configuration. Number 16. Steve Irwin. At his Halloween party, Satan confronts someone for wearing a Steve Irwin costume, since it's making some of the other guests uncomfortable.
Oh, jeez.
But the man reveals himself to actually be Steve Irwin. Of course, that means he's not wearing a costume at all, so Satan promptly kicks him out.
Oh, but then dude, no costume.
This brief exchange was seen as problematic for many reasons, from the way the character is depicted, to the fact that he's in hell at all, to the fact that it aired less than 2 months after the crocodile hunter was killed. The most ironic thing about this joke is that, apparently, there is a line that you shouldn't cross, even for Satan and the denizens of hell. But there are no lines for South Park. Number 15, the weapon mishap. At the Park County Fair, the boys con a vendor and get themselves some weapons to play ninja. What could possibly go wrong? Well, this. Butters essentially loses his eye, and the boys are left to figure out how to deal with it. And naturally, they do not fare too well.
I'm getting woozy.
Shut up, Butters.
Poor Butters, who's barely even conscious, is forced to pretend that he's a dog. But the people of South Park don't seem to be concerned with that either, instead focusing on Cartman's wardrobe malfunction, if you can even call it that.
Dude, they don't care we knocked Butters' eye out with weapons? Just run with it, dude.
Number 14, Cartman takes Mel Gibson fandom too far. For whatever reason, Cartman loved The Passion of the Christ. How much did he love the film, you might ask? So much that he created a Mel Gibson fan club. Okay, that's a choice. Oh, but it gets worse. Wait until you see what he's wearing and get a good sense of what his intentions with this club truly are.
We all know why we're here.
Worst of all, the clueless members who join the group are oblivious to what he's trying to do and simply follow along.
Oh, this is fun!
And if that wasn't bad enough, they never actually realize what they're doing, as they only decide to leave the club after seeing how bonkers Mel Gibson is in person.
No, come on, people. We're so close to completing my final solution.
Number 13, Garrison and Garrison's father. In Worldwide Recorder Concert, Garrison is shown to have a complicated relationship with Garrison Sr. Based on how Garrison behaves, viewers are led to believe Garrison Sr. did some pretty messed up things to psychologically scar the teacher as a child. But that is not at all the case. In fact, it's actually quite the opposite. In a shocking twist, the issue with Garrison's father stems from the fact that he never actually did anything to Garrison in the first place, and this results in Garrison believing that Garrison Sr. had no love for his child.
What? Was it that I was ugly?
Oh my god!
I wasn't good enough for you. Was that it, Dad?
Well, no!
Thus, the episode sees Garrison pressuring Garrison Sr. into assault to prove his love. We can only gasp at this strange twist of reverse psychology.
You stood by and let it happen. You saw him come home drunk and then just go right to sleep.
I'm not listening!
Face it, Mother, he never abused me.
Number 12, Indiana Jones. When Stan and Kyle mentioned that one of their friends was assaulted, audiences knew that South Park was about to cross the line like never before. Of course, nobody could have predicted that the friend in question was Indiana Jones, who was forced to suffer at the hands of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas on multiple occasions throughout the episode, with each instance being more graphic than the last.
You're looking good.
No, what are you gonna do to him?
While there is some pretty clever satire here, this incredibly dark imagery had a lot of people feeling grossed out, disturbed, and uncertain if they should be laughing or in shock. Was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull really that bad?
We can't help him now. I thought it was pretty good.
Number 11, Cartman finds out who his father is.
No! No! Now eat your chili!
South Park used to have a recurring joke that Cartman did not know who his father was, or that he simply didn't have one. The show even had a two-parter that teased the idea of revealing who this person really was, only to just not do it, much to the anger of South Park fans. However, the idea of discovering who that person is was revisited in the episodes 200 and 201. But much to his dismay, Cartman learns from his former rival Scott Tenorman that they are half-brothers and share the same father. Longtime fans know what this means. But just when you think things couldn't get any more dark, they do, when you see Cartman's reaction afterwards.
Don't you guys realize what that means?
Yeah, dude, we know what it means.
My dad was a ginger!
Wait, what?
I mean, obviously I take after my mom, but I have the ginger gene inside of me!
Number 10, Stan sees the world as feces. Leave it to Trey Parker and Matt Stone to create a depressingly realistic portrayal of divorce, and then fill the screen with literal crap. You're Getting Old is all about the inevitability of change, primarily expressed through Stan's parents admitting that they're unhappy and filing for divorce. Soundtracked by Fleetwood Mac's Landslide, the final montage sees Stan solemnly going through the motions while trying to come to terms with Sharon and Randy's separation. Also, the boy turns to alcohol to deal with the situation. In its own slightly juvenile way, South Park cuts through the nonsense and captures the raw emotion of such a situation. Number 9. ManBearPig goes on a spree.
You were totally right. ManBearPig is real and, he's killing lots of people in our town.
Oh, sucks for you.
On the surface, a grotesque monster fond of murdering people is already rather gruesome. However, the real-life context behind ManBearPig's rampage is the real kicker. An obvious stand-in for climate change, ManBearPig is originally introduced as a figment of Al Gore's imagination. Jump forward more than a decade, and climate change can no longer be dismissed as the ravings of a madman. Basically, serving as an apology, South Park sets the real ManBearPig loose on the unprepared public, who prefer to play Red Dead Redemption 2 while passing the monster-shaped buck on to the next generation.
We're gonna face ManBearPig and put an end to this deal once and for all.
Number 8. Kenny, Kevin, and Karen's parents go to jail.
Let's go! Get down now!
South Park rarely hesitates to tackle sensitive topics in the name of comedy. The Poor Kid episode launches with Kenny's parents being hauled off to jail for selling meth, and the kids being shipped off to an awful foster home. To make matters worse, but also funnier, the whole ordeal is filmed for a reality show called White Trash in Trouble, so Kenny's misfortune becomes a source of entertainment. Besides making a few timely and risky references to the Penn State scandal, the Poor Kid also has Cartman going to the absolute limits to try and avoid the stigma of being labeled as poor.
Well, guess I'm off to a foster home then. Hawaii is my first choice.
Number 7. Woodland Critter Christmas.
Now our Critter Christmas can finally happen. Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Christmas is the season of rejoicing, reflection, stockings, and in the case of South Park, satanic rituals intended to summon the Antichrist and any food eaten over the last 24 hours. Stan is bamboozled into assisting a group of woodland creatures who are preparing for the coming of the animal kingdom's supposed savior, a process involving sacrificing and eating a rabbit. While nothing screams happy holidays like cute animals gorging on even cuter animals, South Park goes the extra mile by throwing in a blood feast. We imagine the woodland custom falls on the 13th day of Christmas.
Yay, sacrifice me to the devil! Yay!
Number 6. The Priest Cleanup Crew.
Send in a cleanup crew, now.
South Park is not afraid to put religious institutions to the sword, and few jabs are as direct as the Catholic cleanup crew. After Butters and Father Maxie disappear, a group of priests is sent to expunge all evidence of any wrongdoing by the church's representative. In order to catch the seemingly criminal rogue Father Maxie, the cleanup crew sets a trap by kidnapping a few victims to use as bait. South Park effectively satirizes such a dark and hushed subject by presenting the priests as gangsters and utterly eliminating any subtlety. Number 5. Butters' Home Life.
Butters, we are talking to you! Explain yourself, mister!
With people like Randy Marsh, Garrison, and Eric Cartman on the show, the innocent Butters presents a welcome break from all the rampant cynicism. Or that used to be the case before Season 5's finale decided to focus exclusively on Butters' tragic home life. Along with refusing to believe Butters could ever be picked on, Steven and Linda Stotch welcome any reason to punish or mistreat the naive boy. The torment extends beyond Butters' parents, as the kid's grandmother is also the worst. Choosing just one dark moment is near impossible, but that time Linda tries to drown Butters has gotta rank high. There is no room for innocence in South Park.
It's okay, baby. Mommy will be with you very soon.
I think that, yep, it looks like the car's filling up with water.
Number 4. The school violence phenomenon.
Southwest classroom clear!
Now we're gonna retake the exam on Friday.
Gee, who could have predicted an episode called Dead Kids would contain a dark moment or two? When South Park Elementary becomes the scene of multiple incidents of violence, the town's adults, teachers, and students treat the problem as a minor inconvenience rather than anything meriting a proper discussion. As the only one truly troubled by what's happened, Stan's mother Sharon is ostracized, mocked, and eventually broken by the town. Any premise involving this kind of violence is destined to be dark, but Dead Kids is totally devoid of any optimism that a solution may be found in the future.
What other thing? What happened at school today?
Number 3, Britney Spears.
It's Britney Watch!
Considering South Park frequently injects religious figures into episodes, it's safe to assume celebrities are unlikely to be handled with kid gloves. The cartoon outing Bono as a sentient piece of feces is all in good fun, we guess, but a disturbed Britney Spears pulling the trigger of a gun is considerably darker. Despite being short half a skull, Britney continues to fulfill her duty as the pop princess. Released just 2 months following Britney's heavily publicized breakdown, South Park's episode presents the press as vultures feasting off the celebrity's fragile mental state. Number 2, Chef's brainwashing and death.
Children,
Driven by anger and grief, the return of Chef was South Park's response to Isaac Hayes' quote, Scientology entourage, reportedly making a statement on his behalf requesting he be released from the show after the cartoon openly mocked Scientology. In this episode, Chef joins the Super Adventure Club, an organization of traveling criminals who utilize brainwashing techniques to convince new members to fall in line. The boys try in vain to save Chef, but the club's conditioning is too deeply ingrained to break. With all hope lost, South Park violently kills Chef in a scene that feels defeatist rather than cathartic. Without context, this moment features a beloved character being vividly killed. With that context, the return of Chef is heartbreaking. Number 1, Scott Tenorman's Special Chili.
Do you like it? Do you like it, Scott? I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenerman chili.
Frankly, Cartman could easily have dominated this entire list. That being said, Eric's crowning act of evilness puts to shame all of the character's other vile acts. After being played and humiliated by Scott Tenorman, Cartman decides revenge is a dish best served with a side of cannibalism. During a cook-off between the two, Cartman serves Scott a bowl of chili made out of the unsuspecting boy's own parents. This is not some mean-spirited joke. Cartman genuinely resorts to murder and cannibalism as revenge for being conned out of less than $20. Eric is an unapologetic psychotic monster who, somehow, is rarely not hilarious.
Nya 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 nya. I made you eat your parents. Nya 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 nya.
Which South Park episode made you say, "Too much, man"? Let us know in the comments.
Well, that's the end of our tour.
Now do you see why tolerance is so important, boys?
I guess.